So with the news of the Minnesota Vikings releasing running back Dalvin Cook, it got me thinking, could that same thing happen to Alvin Kamara in the near future? Now, both Cook and Kamara were drafted out of the 2017 class, and they're both getting up there in age. They're around the age that, running backs start to lose a step and whatnot. Like Bill Belichick says, it's better to move on from a player a little too soon than a little too late. So, it was surprising a little bit, I guess, to see Cook get released instead of traded, just because he is still a really good running back. He's clearly lost a little bit of a step, but like I said, he's still a really good running back. 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And, 1,000-yard seasons are hard to come by. I mean, just look at AK. Kamara, he has never had a 1,000-yard rushing season. Now, he is more of a pass-catching running back, and he's spent the majority of his career sharing snaps with, guys like Mark Ingram. But still, it's still shocking to see that, AK has never had a 1,000-yard season. And it's looking like, Kamara may never hit that 1,000-yard rushing mark, especially, since he has that looming suspension. We don't know how many games he's going to be suspended for, or if at all. But if I would bet, I would say he is going to be suspended. Pair that with the Saints signing Jamal Williams and drafting Miller, the running back out of TCU this year. It just don't look good for Kamara. At the end of this year, I think next year he has like an $18 million cap hit. So if the Saints were to move on from Alvin Kamara, I would expect it to be at the end of this year. Just because, like I said, you signed Jamal Williams, you drafted Kendre Miller out of TCU, and you also have, Taysom Hill taking running back snaps as well, from the quarterback position at least. But yeah, $18 million cap is an insane number for a running back. Now the Saints could do what the Saints do best and restructure his contract, which they might. But, with him getting up there in age, the suspension happening, he didn't really look himself last year. He was still good, don't get me wrong, but he really wasn't like the AK of old. And I know a lot of that has to do with, Pete Carmichael play calling issues. And, like losing Sean Payton was obviously a huge deal, is a huge blow to any offense. Like I said, if they were to move on, I don't see it being this year just because, we've been given no signs of that. But if they were to move on, I would expect it to be at the end of this year. And to be honest, the Saints are in a position to be able to do so with the new additions to the team.